Hey everybody, Playtendoguy here, and I'm back with another video. It's Monday morning, so you know what that means. It's time for another weekly pickups video. But again, this week I'm going to bring you another sort of Blu-ray hunting video. I did go to Boston yesterday, I did go to the HMV, did go to the Poundland, and I also did drop off at a One Below. So I'm going to show you the footage of all that, and then when we're back, I'm going to show you all the pickups I've had over the past week. So without further ado, let's get into it. The main reason why we went to Boston was because of the HMV sale. I did go into one HMV, my local HMV, and the sale stuff was very up and down. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff is sold out, so I thought, you know what, let's go to the Boston one and see what they got. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. They had hordes of stock on the sale shelf, and also they were putting out new stuff because on Sunday they actually added more titles to the sale, and they were picking the stuff off the shelf, putting the sale stickers on. Actually, I was getting the stuff off the shelf before they even put the sale stickers on. But anyway, I did get quite a lot of stuff from our trip to Boston. I think I got about 15 titles. So, and plus there's also some pickups in the week. So without further ado, let's get into the pile. First up, we've got an Amazon delivery. I got back into Amazon. I had a half price trial for like 3 months. So I thought, you know what, let's just do it. First up is the Star List. They did have it in HMV, but unfortunately my local never had it in, so I thought order it off Amazon. It went down to $8.99. It's quite a fairly new recent release. It's about a female hairdresser who likes to chop off people's hair and wear it. Yes, it sounds very odd, a little bit Sweeney Todd-like, but it's supposed to be pretty good. It's directed by an up-and-coming female director, so that's pretty cool. This is a nice special edition. It's a 2-disc set. You get the film on one disc and you also get the soundtrack on another. You also get the booklet and a poster. So for $8.99, that's a nice little set. Another one that I ordered last weekend that finally arrived this week, or this past week, is a film that I've already got on Blu-ray, but it's the standard Universal one, and I really want the Arrow one. And I found it online for a really good deal. They wanted 20 odd quid for it. I offered 15. They said 17. I had a voucher, so I said, yeah. Only came to 15 quid. And that's the limited edition of American Werewolf in London. Yeah, so this cost me 15 quid, which I think is a really good price. I did pop it on over the weekend, and it looks really good. The artwork on here is absolutely superb. You get hordes of special features here. You do get like your booklet, your poster, and like your film, and you also do get some art cards in it. So for 15 quid, I do think it's really worth it because these Arrow hard boxes really do feel very well made. So yeah, that's American Werewolf in London. Also popped in a Poundland, and Poundland are getting rid of their Blu-rays now. All the Blu-rays are quid, and all the DVDs are 50p, which I think is a great move just to get rid of the stuff. I popped into one of them in Kingsland and I picked up this one. I've actually never seen one of these films. Yeah, I know. I've heard they're pretty good, so I picked up the first Hangover for quid. So yeah, this one came out in about 2008, 2009, and essentially it's about some guys having a hangover and ending up like in a different part of America, I assume. One of them loses their tooth, and there's like a line in the bathroom or the bedroom. That's all I know about this film, but I've heard it's really funny, and the guy who directed this, Todd Phillips, went on to direct The Joker. So yeah, quite a change of career path. But hey, looking forward to watching The Hangover eventually. I did go into my local HMV and they did have a sale on. Only a few titles, but I did manage to pick up 2 from that HMV. I managed to pick up, from the creators of Flight of the Conchords, What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, this is actually priced up for $5.99, and I did go up to the till saying like, hey, it's actually half price, and they were like, well, no, it's $5.99. Scanned it, went down to $2.99. Yes, 50% off in the current sale, so if your HMV still got it for like full price, like at $5.99, definitely well worth asking them to scan it because it came up as $2.99. I've heard that it's a very funny film. Taika Waititi again. Really enjoyed Jojo Rabbit. Never seen a lot of his other stuff, but I've heard this is one of the best. Really funny, and I'm pretty certain that there's a TV series. So yeah, that is What We Do in the Shadows. HMV, they seem to just be reducing loads of 101 films, which is a bit of a shame because I don't mind 101 films. I think they're a pretty decent little label. I do have a few of them, and they do some nice little editions, and they're not too expensive. But anyway, they had this one here, and I thought, you know what? I'll pick this one up because it sounds pretty good. And that's Stellan Skarsgård in Order of Disappearance. Basically, it's about this dude whose son dies of like a drug overdose, and it's something to do with like gangs and like rings. And basically, he's had enough of it, and he goes after him, offing them one by one, and then he causes like a mini sort of gang war out where he lives in like I in wherever he lives. He's a snow plow driver, so somewhere in the Nordic region that has plenty of snow. Yeah, really good geography there, Pete. Really good geography. But anyway, I thought this film's premise sounds very familiar. It actually was remade in 2019 as Cold Pursuit, starring Liam Neeson, and I did see that film and actually really quite enjoyed it. It's one of the few Liam Neeson films that are pretty good, like most recent ones. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I've heard this one's even better, so I'm really looking forward to watching this one. It's going to be like your same sort of mix of like Death Wish sort of action with a little bit of humour in it as well. So yeah, that is In Order of Disappearance for only $4.99. Before I get on to the Boston pickups, I also had another pickup from Amazon or delivery, and this is a film that I've been wanting to get for quite a while. I've been talking to my friend and co-host on the live stream, Mike's from Cinema Axeman, again, link in the description, about the set, and he picked up recently and he showed me it, and it looks like a really lovely set. So I picked up a Charlton Heston and Richard Harris film, Major Dundee. Yep, this is the Arrow Limited Edition. This is currently £20 on Amazon, HMV, and probably Zavvi. And it includes like two cuts of the film, a booklet, poster, you know, the usual get-up. But yeah, watched this over the weekend. Actually, really quite a cool little like Western war film set in like the Civil War. Charlton Heston and Richard Harris are brilliant in it. Like the tension between them on the screen is just so good. Apparently there was a lot of drama like behind the scenes. The two just didn't get on, and you could kind of get that in their performances. But yeah, that's Major Dundee, and just look at that artwork. It's absolutely stunning. I will do a separate video for this where I'll unbox it, because I do think it's a really nice set, and definitely a lot of people should be getting their attention on this brilliant set. So yeah, that's Major Dundee. Today we went to Boston. Wanted to go to the HMV in Boston there, and wow, I'm certainly glad I did, because I ended up picking quite a few titles up from that HMV and also the Poundland. So first up is the HMV did like a VHS range a few years ago where you used to get like the Blu-ray, the DVD, some art cards, poster, all that sort of jazz for about 10 quid. They're selling all them off now, about £5 each. I really wanted to get the Breakfast Club, but unfortunately they sold out online as I just about to order it. And unfortunately Boston One never had it in. So I'm on the lookout for the Breakfast Club on the VHS range. But I did pick up one VHS one, and that is a film bizarrely I don't think I've seen before, and that's Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop. This is the VHS range. As I said, you get the Blu-ray, the DVD, all little art cards, and yeah, it's quite good. Like a sort of action comedy cop drama. Action comedy cop film. So yeah, from the 80s. One of Eddie Murphy's best films, from what I've heard. I've seen it before. I definitely have done. There's so many films that I say I haven't seen, and then actually turns out when I watch it, oh, I'll remember that. Typical me. But yeah, very happy to have that in the collection. I don't think I'll collect all the VHS range, but as I thought I haven't got Beverly Hills Cop in the collection, I thought, you know what, pick it up. You do. This was the main film that I wanted to go to Boston for. They did actually have some in HMV where I live, but unfortunately somebody come in and bought them all and sold them all to CEX. But anyway, this is a Michael Caine film from the 70s, and I actually did watch this last night, and that is Michael Caine in The Black Windmill. It's directed by Don Siegel, who done Dirty Harry, and you can definitely tell his style is here with this film. Basically, Michael Caine is like a spy, and these group of people actually steal his son and demands like a king's ransom for it. But the tables are turned where they try to slowly turn like the officials against Michael Caine, trying to incriminate him whilst also wanting money off him. There's plenty of twists and turns in it, and it's actually really quite a dark film and quite uncomfortable at times. It's a 12 plus, and to be fair, I'm kind of surprised it is, because some of the stuff that happens in this film it's quite disturbing. Like, whilst it doesn't really show you a lot, it's quite disturbing, especially what happens to his child. But yeah, that is the disc, and you do get alternate artwork. So yeah, that is the Black the Black Windmill. Yeah, normally £12.99. In the sale, it's only £2.99, and honestly, very well worth picking up if you can find this for £2.99. I'm so glad I picked it up. Definitely one of the best hidden gem Michael Caine films I've seen. It's basically like a mix of Death Wish with a bit of like James Bond, shall I say, or recently as I watched the Ipcrest Files. It's good, very enjoyable. Next up is another 101 Films release. That's normally £12.99 but £2.99. This one stars Sylvester Stallone in probably one of his first acting roles, and Henry Winkler from Happy Days. This is called The Lords of Flatbush. It's called The Lord of Flatbush. The Lords of Flatbush. Yes, I don't really know much about it. I basically just bought it because Stallone and Henry Winkler's in it from Happy Days. From the looks of it, it's just like a sort of comedy set in the 50s, or coming of age comedy set in the 50s, about like this group of biker gangs where they try to adjust to like reality after leaving school. Looks like a sweet fun time, and for £2.99 you can't complain. I did notice this one in my other HMV. I did look at it, but I put it back, and then I read like the description of it online, and I thought, you know what, this looks quite cool. And that's Timothy Hutton and Sean Penn in The Falcon and the Snowman. So yeah, this one's £3.99. It's normally £8.99. It's something called The Falcon and the Snowman. It stars Timothy Hutton and Sean Penn, and I don't really know much about it. I did check online what it was about, and it sounded like an interesting film. It's sort of like a spy sort of government thriller, so it could be a really good time. So yeah, for only £3.99, I thought I'd pick up The Falcon and the Snowman and see what it's like. Next up is another 101 film release. This one was £9.99 though. I'm pretty certain it was £12.99. This one stars James Caan and Terence Stamp, and I have actually seen this one before, and that's Alienation. I have seen this before. This used to show on like the Horror Channel about 10 years ago, and it's pretty fun. It's basically sees like I'm gonna gather set in the future, and it sees like in the future, and it sees like people and aliens living together, and it follows like two cops. One's like a human, and the other's an alien, and they have to stop like various murders going on. I remember watching it back in the day and actually really quite enjoying it. But bizarrely, I'm sure this was a cut down one because it was on at about like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and the film's an 18. So obviously, I must have watched a made-to-TV version. But I really did enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to actually watching this one. This one includes the Blu-ray, the DVD, and you also do get a poster and reversible sleeve. So for £2.99, very happy with that. Now, next one has a funny little story to it. Well, a bit of a story to it. Last week before, I ordered it on HMV, and it sold out. And I was still waiting like 5 days for it to dispatch, and I was like, it isn't coming, isn't it? And they took the film off the website, so I thought, you know what, I'm not going to get it at all. Just cancel it, get your money back. So I thought, fair enough, and because the film's out of print, I thought, never going to get it again. Went to HMV Boston, had a look at the Arrow section, just bought out the blue, have a quick look, because I wasn't going to pick any up because I picked up all that stuff. And then I found it on the shelf, and I picked that off the shelf as quick as out. And that is Telly Savalas in Lisa and the Devil. Yeah, I've been wanting this one for quite a while. This film has been out of print for absolute ages. So to pick this up on Blu-ray for a good price, I can't say no. It says $14.99 there, but I took it to the till and said, is it $8.99? She scanned it. Yeah, $8.99, so that's brilliant. This one is basically just sees like this woman called Lisa who gets like travels around Spain, and she gets separated from her touring group, and then meets up with Telly Savalas, who takes her to this like castle, and loads of stuff happens during the night. Some of it apparently is quite steamy. So yeah, that is Lisa and the Devil. I mainly picked it up because Telly Savalas is in it, and Telly Savalas is such a brilliant actor. From Kojak to Horror Express, the dude just chews up the scenery so well, and he's just a brilliant actor. You do get quite a few special features here. Apparently you do get both cuts of the film on the disc, which is cool, because when this first came out in America, it was actually known as the House of Exorcism, mainly because it was trying to like capitalize on what was going on with like The Exorcist at the time being a popular film. So you get the two versions, the original version and the American version, and you do get quite a few special features. So yeah, that is Lisa and the Devil. And finally is from HMV, there's still a few more to go, is a film by Takeshi Miike. I've heard it's pretty quite cool, and it came out a few years ago. Always wanted to watch it, but I never wanted to pay like about 10-15 quid for it. But I paid about 4 quid for it, and it's Takeshi Miike's First Love in a nice yellow case. This was like priced up for about 10-11 quid, and took it to the till, and I said, is it half price? Scanned it through, yeah, half price. It's because when they were opening, this was only when they were opening, so they were getting stickers coming in left, right and centre to price up the stock. But anyway, picked it up, about 4 quid, very happy. Looks like it's going to be a typical Takeshi Miike action film. It says here, what was it now? It says it's the best true romance rip you'll ever see. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, very looking forward to watching that. Also, a big shout out to HMV in Boston for going above and beyond. Great customer service. Basically, I had a list of titles I saw online that I wanted to get, and I just went up to them and they checked on the systems to see if they had it. So big thank you to all the staff there. And honestly, if you guys are around the Lincolnshire area, definitely pop into Boston HMV because it's a fantastic store. It's hidden out the way in Boston, but it's like an Aladdin's cave there of hidden titles that you just would not expect to find in that HMV. Poundland had a sale, yeah. I went to the Boston Poundland and they had quite a huge range of titles, and some of them I haven't seen before, so I picked them up for a quid. We've got Garrett Hedlund and Oscar Isaac in something called Motivate, whatever this is. Don't really know much about it. I just picked it up because it had Oscar Isaac in it. It looks like it's going to be a pretty cool sort of action thriller film. So yeah, for a quid I thought pick it up, see what it's like. From the author of American Psycho, starring Billy Bob Thornton, Kim Basinger and Winona Ryder, which was enough to be sold, and that is The Informer. Don't really know much about it. I think it's going to be sort of like a Basic Instinct sort of thriller. I remember this film, this one came out quite a few years ago, about 10 years ago, and this stars Bradley James, who was in Merlin. We also have the girl from Lenora Cricklow from Being Human, and we also have Lily James before Downton Abbey, and this was a film directed by Noel Clarke, but it's set around the time of the 2012 Olympics, and there's something called Fast Girls. So yeah, basically it's just about like a girl athletics group trying to actually win the Olympics, I assume. It has soundtrack by Labyrinth, Amelia Sandé and Example, so you can tell how old that is because I have not heard from Example or Labyrinth for absolutely years. But yeah, for a quid with a slipcover, I thought I'd give it a go. I think I have seen it before, but it'd be pretty cool to watch Lily James in like one of her earlier appearances. And apparently she was in Wrath of the Titans, according to the back of the cover, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, who would have thought it? Doing this film, and a few years later, she'd be in Hollywood doing stuff like a Baby Driver and all that stuff. It's always interesting to go back to like these smaller British films and see like people like Jodie Comer and how big they are now. It's just like unbelievable. You would never imagine like back when this first came out that there'd be such huge household names. And the final pickup from this Poundland was The Hangover Part 2. They did have The Hangover Part 2 in the other Poundland, but unfortunately the case was a bit messed up. Well, the discs were loose, so I thought, oh, I'm not picking that up. This one, thankfully, is alright, so yeah, this is Part 2 of The Hangover, or the same I've heard. I've heard the films are not as good later on, so this one and the third one are probably not going to be as good, but for a quid, if I can pick up the third one from Poundland for a quid, I'll be very happy. So yeah, that is The Hangover Part 2. Pop into One Below, and they did actually have a new selection of titles. We've got 2 DVDs here. We've got one starring Al Pacino. Have got no idea what it's about. I just picked it up because it's got Al Pacino in it. And I think it's called Simone, S-I-Mone. I have no idea. But yeah, From basically what it sounds like, it's got Winona Ryder in it, and Al Pacino's like a manager for like a modeling agency or an acting agency, and Winona Ryder just walks out, so he creates his own perfect actress who everybody loves. So yeah, called S1. It's Simone, is it? I don't know. It's a very odd sounding get up for a film. But Al Pacino, so I thought I'll pick it up and see. Picked up mainly due to the cast. It has Robert De Niro, Stanley Tucci, even Bruce Willis in it, and this is What Just Happened. I have no idea what this is about, but apparently it's like a sort of action comedy thing. I can't even remember this one coming out, but I picked it up for the cast alone. Only £1, so there you go. Next up is a film, one of my favourite films of the last decade. I more or less got it again, mainly for the lovely slip. So yeah, that is Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. One of the best films of the last decade. Michael Keaton's return to fame. Love this film, and picked up just for the slip. Typical me. Next up is a film that I always watch. Always loved Chicken Run, always loved Wallace and Gromit, and I was a big fan of this TV series, but I never actually saw the films. I do have the second one on DVD, but I've never seen the first one, and that's Shaun the Sheep, the movies. Been after this one for quite a while, so very happy to have this in the collection, especially for only £1. It's just going to be like a feature-length, animated, claymation adventure with Shaun and the friends, so should be good. So yeah, that's Shaun the Sheep. And the final one is a film that I've seen in like Poundland for £2, but I've never actually seen it with a slip. I have seen the original years ago, but I've never actually seen this remake, and that's Ben-Hur. Yeah, it's probably going to be an absolute pile of crap, but I thought, give it a go, see what it's like. If it's crap, it's crap. If it's good, it's good. For £1, I don't really care. It's worth a go. And again, with Poundland and One Below, it's an easy way to build your collection up without spending too much. If I don't like it, I can always give it away at a giveaway. So yeah, that is Ben-Hur. So anyway, that's all the pickups and deliveries for the past week, and overall it's a pretty damn big haul, and I'm very happy with what I've got. Definitely check out your local HMV, see what you can find in your local HMV with like the bargain bins. Unfortunately mine haven't had the bargain bins, but they have had shelves full of stuff. So definitely check out today, because apparently more titles are going on the sale, so you might even bag yourself even more bargains. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, Wednesday night, join me, Andy and Mike for a Wednesday night movie live stream once again, where we'll be talking with Bumpers Movies. So it'll be brilliant to get him on the stream and have a good chat with him about all sorts of films. So join us all Wednesday night at 7:30 and get all your questions in. It's going to be another brilliant night. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be totally awesome. And as always, till next time, bye.